shop with the Amazon Dash Cart. Say hello to the Amazon Dash Cart and take the stress out of shopping. Skip the checkout and keep rolling with the Dash Cart. Scan, weigh, load, and bag items right at the cart. With Store Maps, you can easily find where items are throughout the store. Watching your budget? No problem. Track your spending with a live receipt on screen. When you're done shopping, you really are done. No lines, no rebagging. Simply a smoother way to shop.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric?
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the artists of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And it's going to be a quick video on the mark of the beast, because as you can clearly see, the clip that was featured, is getting people ready for the mark of the beast, man. Because as you can see, this digital infrastructure is, being put in place, and it says, I think that was Amazon Go, where people walk into the store, their carts, they scan their items and weigh their items, with the shopping carts. They don't actually have to, wait in line to pay for their things, and then they don't have to use cash. They can use their, their credit cards, and this is about to become a reality, for all of us in the near future, where cash will be deemed useless, and the only form of currency is going to be a microchip that is going to be implanted primarily in the people's hands, but even other individuals are going to receive it in their heads. This, as it said, as the caption read in that video, man, all roads lead to the mark of the beast. All roads lead to this chip being made mandatory, man. Just remember, these other Israelite groups that are not properly teaching what the mark of the beast is, it's like 9 times out of 10, a lot of them are going to end up getting it, because some of them know what it is and simply mislead their congregation into believing it's something else, or they're really ignorant to the fact of what it is, and it's been broken down time and time again. There's numerous videos of starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone breaking down what the mark of the beast is, and it is the RFID microchip, and it isn't anything else. It's not sin. It's not sleeping with white women. It's not an embargo. It's not anything else, other than that device that is literally going to go into people's heads. It's like it enter their heads, man, So I'm not going to make this long. I'm just going to read this couple verses and that'll be it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. It's lucky I'll start at 15. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which the image of the beast is, America being patterned after ancient Rome, because the very same thing that, was going on in ancient Rome is the very same thing that's going on here in America. Just to list a few examples, like the government, this whole democracy government comes from ancient Rome. Because like back then they had the plebeians and the patricians. Today, we have Democrats and Republicans, the Senate, just like they had coliseums. What do we have today? Sports arenas, and various different entertainment venues, bread and circus, if you will. That's the image of the beast, America taking after ancient Rome, So I'm going to start over Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So, right, there's going to be a remnant of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, a remnant of this group of people that is going to resist this man's mark, that are, pretty much going to be enemies of the state, if you will, just like the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith, because again, they won't get all of the elect, but certain of the elect will be beheaded, but again, that won't be, their end. Yes, they're going to die honorable deaths, but they're going to be risen up first upon the second coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai, So verse 16, and it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this is literal, it doesn't matter. Just like it says, small and great, rich or poor, free or bond. So if you're small, if you're tall, if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're free, or if you're, in jail, it doesn't matter. A lot of people are going to receive this man's mark, which again is the RFID microchip. Again, there's plenty of videos out there that shows the procedure of people, getting that device implanted into their hands, with that syringe, which is, the karax, in the Greek, that sharp object that is going to pierce these people's hands, to deliver that device. And again, as a recently again, that video of Bishop Nathaniel, I think it may have been an old video, that the apostles have been responding to again, because recently I think now the IUIC yet again changed up their doctrine. Now they're saying that, the mark of the beast is the digital ID, which that's going to be a part of it. All your information is going to be on these chips, your ID, your state ID or driver's license, your medical records, everything about you, your social security number, everything is going to be on that device, and this is what Esau Edom wants. This is the goal of his New World Order, to chip everyone, just like, Aaron Russo told Alex Jones, Slacky, I drew a blank for a second, but just like Aaron Russo told Alex Jones, in an interview, that, again, that's the goal of the elites, to chip everyone, because, again, they have a God complex. They want to be like the Most High, because the Most High is all-knowing and he is all-seeing, but they pretty much want to imitate and be like the Most High, Yahweh, by, being all-knowing and all-seeing. They want to monitor everyone, as well. They want to know everything that you're doing, but they won't be able to do that, because the Lord is only going to allow them to get so far before he sends our Lord Yahweh Shai back to take them out of power, Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And right, man, you're not going to be able to buy and sell in this next world to come. And when I say world, I'm meaning the next society, because once this current, society collapses, this monetary system fails, that's going to be the new way, the new mode of, buying and selling, unless you have that chip, that's the only way you're going to be able to survive in the next society to come, and it's not going to be, easy. They're intentionally making things hard now, so that people can become dependent, and ultimately ended up, receiving it, which a lot of people will, but again, a remnant is going to be delivered, man. They're going to be kept, Verse 18, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And this number is 600, 6, 666, which, again, goes back to, those barcodes, the UPC code, because the first bar is a 6, the middle bar is a 6, and the last one, everything Esau does goes back to the number 6, which the number 6 isn't bad, but it just, everything he does goes back to it, So I didn't want to make this one too long, but again, things are becoming more and more clear what the mark of the beast is, man, So to any new brothers and sisters, or to any, brothers and sisters that may be in these various camps that are being, taught properly what the mark of the beast is and what you should do, again, the RFID, matter of fact, the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. It is. And you should not take it, because again, that is a sin, not only a sin unto death, but you will not be forgiven if you take that, You're going to be destroyed. So resist it, trust in the Lord that he's going to deliver us through these difficult times that are about to come upon this earth, So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till next time I see you, Shalom.